The urgency to make money comes from that a confusion. Now you start to put your attention on money rather than productivity, which is, as I said, the byproduct of health. And if you don't generate something, you're going to be anxious. Of course. Because if you don't produce anything, why would nature or life support you? You're useless. Nature doesn't have compassion and sympathy for what's useless. When it's useless, it simply recycles it and recreates another version. So that's health. I produce something. So if you're not producing anything, then you have an anxiety. Then you want money. You need money. And if you can find a swindle or a hustle, you'll kind of take it to get some money because you don't produce anything. In our day and age, government is there, at least in our Western world, particularly in Canada, which has become like China. And they'll give you money for you doing fuck all. Well, you're doing something, but we'll talk about this another time. But technically, you're producing nothing, which makes you depressed, and more depressed. But you're not generating anything. So why that urgency when in reality what you should feel is the inspiration or the impulse to produce, to generate, to create something, and to bring something of value to other people, because that's natural. And which ties to the first part of our conversation today. It's like, well, why is it that, because we live in a world that has become so upside down that something of value is shunned upon, or we have the impression, but it's very often the case, the flashy gets the attention. I know this girl, she's a gorgeous Indian girl. She grew up in a white town with white girls. She had a mental issue, that's her thing. And she's like, well, they're all like flashy. They like short skirts, short shorts, they're naked, white girls. And she's conservative. So she felt invisible. First of all, she cannot be invisible because she's beautiful. But let's say in the cafeteria, she'll be invisible because these girls are doing everything to attract the attention, and they know how to seduce the attention of young men who are dumb watching porn and are seduced by images and flashiness. And the actual beautiful girl, not to say that the white girl is not necessarily beautiful, I'm just saying the person who's conservative or respects themselves seems to disappear from the radar because everybody's obsessed and insane. And somehow it would be nice to feel or believe or trust that there are some people who are not like this. That there are some people who are bored of the flashiness. Listen, flashiness is flashiness. A flashy girl is a flashy girl, a flashy guy is a flashy guy. I ain't got nothing against flashiness, but you can't expect something else from the flashy than the flashy, right? So once you're past this, you got it, like, understand, it's a flashy girl, it's great, next, it's not for me. Then you move on. So we want to believe or trust that there are some people who are like bored and sick of this. Let's not say sick, they're fed up. And they're looking for something else. But it's also the job of those who are, you can be conservative and self-respective, but you don't need to be meek. And if we go back to that Indian girl, she played the meek role as if she was a victim of the so-called white women and their flashiness. I'm like, no, we had multiple conversations. I'm like, it's not, they're playing their game. Why are you becoming meek? Because that's challenging you. It's like, that's on you, right? So I believe there's a place where we can share, where we can share authentically and genuinely. But if you don't present yourself and you don't show up at the cafeteria, well, those people who are looking for you will certainly not find you. And if you go to the cafeteria and you think that you need to dress like the cool people, then those who are looking for you will not recognize you. And the cool people will never accept you, and if they do, they'll accept you for a day or two or three, and then they realize this guy's a little weird. He's not one of us. They'll kick you out. Then you'll have nothing, right? But that's very seductive. So holding it down, respecting yourself, respecting your position is necessary. That's called positioning, holding your position, respecting the game. I mean, it's in the cafeteria, there's all kinds of people. When I was in high school, I was friends with everybody. The cool people, the black people, the Arab people. I don't go shit, I'll go anywhere. Right? But I can still respect myself. And that also requires a certain level of maturity because it's tempting. well, if I just put my hair like this, then I'd appear like this, then I could have some of that. So when you don't know exactly who you are and you're seduced by the benefits that others have, and you think that these benefits are for you, then you may corrupt yourself to have it. So coming back to your question, which I remember, which was, no, I remember it. Urgency and money. The sense of urgency comes when you are underproductive, or what you're producing is no longer relevant and it's time to update your factory. And that happens in a person's life. I've done many things in my life and that was relevant for a certain time, and I outgrow it. So I'm not interested in it. It's not living and it's not pulsating anymore. So it's like, it's not the business goes down, but it cannot continue to grow because I'm uninterested. You have to update it. That means update yourself. That just takes a certain amount of work so that the next level of productivity comes in. But nowadays, well, a lot of people don't know who they are and they don't know what they actually do. And they're rendered as simple employees in a Starbucks or some kind of like factory job. You're replaceable. It's not that you don't have value, but what you offer has very little value. Technically, in a couple of days, a machine is going to do it. So you don't have that value. So then, of course, now you're anxious, and then you're like, I need to make money, but you don't necessarily know the money game that the money people know. You don't know how to play. That's a particular game. It takes a very specific kind of mind, a specific kind of heart. Like, it's cold. You need to be like just ruthless. Not everybody can do that. That's why not many people do it. Right? So so if you're working for $15 an hour, you don't know what's going on. You have no idea what people are doing, and you don't have your value, so you have an anxiety, and you've never developed it, or have never been encouraged to develop it. So yeah, you're going to feel anxious about it. And what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I got to do something. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. And I feel that that's in part, it's the education system that has made people like this. The education system has no interest in your well-being. It has no interest, in the same way that the medical system has no interest in your well-being, the education system has no interest in actually educating you about what really matters, which is, well, who are you? What do you do? How do you do it? And how do you take this and share it with the world? Which means, in other words, business. And in our situation, well, this is how the money system works. Determine how you want to play, if you want to play. But at the end of the day, you have value, and that value will never go away. Whether you're now or in 20 years or 50 years. And and if you're healthy, it'll always be renewed. It's renewable. And it evolves, and then you can teach others, and these others will have value and teach the new generation. And it's your job, of course, to adapt to the modern times. So it's like, well, now face-to-face contact is becoming minimized. The internet is providing new solutions. So you shouldn't say no to that. You have to adapt. There's nothing wrong with it. But do I need to whore myself to the internet? Do I need to completely dissolve who and what I am and my value in order to fit the internet culture, which is quick, 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 fast, 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 quick, 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 fast, 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 get a like, get attention, quick, 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 fast, 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 get a like, get attention, leave a comment below. Hustle people for their attention at the end of the day. I don't mean disrespect. Like I said, like genuinely, this is how I really feel. Everybody do what they got to do. I don't care. It's not my problem what you do. But you gotta call an elephant for an elephant. Like, well, this is just sucks attention. So the value that it has is that it sucks your attention. But that's pretty much it. It doesn't give you something. And a lot of times it gives you the illusion that it gives you something. Anyways, I digress. I think I answered the question.